last week we had a featured guest with overwhelming response. You guys loved him, and you said, we want more, we want more. So if you did not plug in last week, there is a clip on YouTube. It's 15 minutes. It's a must listen, okay? Get caught up to date. You don't want to miss that, all right? And that's leading right into the second edition of our featured guest, all right? Retired Army, Captain, Ranger, author, MBA in Finance and Strategic Marketing, philanthropist, and just one bat to the bone, super hyper-focused and hyper-disciplined individual. Nate Scott, are you with us?
Wow, Josh, I'm here, and I've got your check right in my back pocket, brother.
Oh, hey, man, if you come back, it'll be even better, all right? Just stay with it. Keep showing up.
Excellent, showing up.
There you go. Well, hey, I just wanted to tell the team, last week we talked about the problem that most Americans were not aware of. We identified the problem, which they can listen to on the call from last week, and then we're transitioning into a little bit more. I wanted you to continue on. Now that we've identified the problem, Nate, where do we go, and how does this profession fit into that as a vehicle? Can you touch more on all that?
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, guys, we call this Beyond the Emotional Charge, the Beyond the Emotional Charge. And I wanted to let you know, in 1996, the week I graduated from West Point with a degree in engineering and sociology, I got introduced to personal growth and development and entrepreneurship via network marketing. And that experience actually forever changed my life. You're talking about staying plugged in and showing up. That's what it was really about for me. In fact, it laid the foundation for me to first become an accredited investor and a real estate millionaire 7 years later. Now, one of the people that I routinely study is Napoleon Hill, and he calls decision the mastery of procrastination. Now, accurate analysis over 25,000 men and women who had experienced failure disclosed the fact that lack of decision was near the head of the list of the 30 major causes of all failure. This is no mere statement of theory. It's actually fact. Procrastination, which is the opposite of decision, is the common enemy which practically every man must conquer. Now, you will have an opportunity to test your capacity to reach quick and definite decisions when you finish listening to this call. You're going to have this opportunity. Now, the question is, are you ready to begin putting into action the principles that I share? Analysis over several hundred people who had accumulated fortunes well beyond the $1 million mark disclosed the fact that every one of them had the habit of reaching decisions promptly and of changing these decisions slowly, if and when they were changed at all. People who fail to accumulate money without exception have the habit of reaching decisions, if at all, very slowly, and of changing these decisions quickly and often. So before I start tonight's call, I want you to think about the financial danger that no one is talking about. I want each of you to know that I truly believe that the American dream of financial freedom is alive and well. And whatever that may mean to you, you can have it. Now, here's the kicker. You can have it if you simply invest the time to learn how to get it. That means showing up.
Got it.
Now, you've invested a lifetime into your work, and when you retire, you deserve to enjoy the fruits of your labor. I'm sure you'll agree. 2 generations ago, corporate pensions and Social Security ensured a secure retirement for our grandparents. Today, pension plans have become virtually extinct, shifting the burden of retirement savings away from corporations onto the employees. Now, our retirement depends largely not only on our own ability to save and invest wisely, but also on our ability to plan. And this is really what I want to get to you. It's about the planning process. You see, if you're like 75% of Americans born after 1945, you're going to have to retire on your own without a pension or confidence that Social Security will contribute to the retirement that you've earned. Now, Josh, unfortunately, many people won't realize how ill-prepared they are for retirement until it's too late.
So why do you say that?
Well, because according to an article that I recently read, and I shared this last time, 66 out of 100 people age 65 earn less than $30,000. 13% earn over $30,000. 5% earn over $60,000. 1 is wealthy, and 15 are dead. So here's what I want you guys to do. Grab your pen and paper, and I'm going to give you some things to write down. And all I want you to do is write in the number. So on your sheet of paper, I want you to write down 1 through 7 vertically. Just go 1 through 7. Number 1, answer the question. Number 1, what is your age? Number 2, what is your desired age to retire? And retirement means to be able to do what you want to do, when you want to do it, with whom you want to do it, wherever you want to do it, and for however long you want to do it. What is that age? Number 3, how much monthly cash flow do you need for that to happen? You see, you don't need a big lump sum of money. Reality is you live month to month. Your bills are paid on a monthly basis. Your expenses are covered on a monthly basis. So what's that monthly cash flow need that you have? Number 4, how many years do you have to get there? How many years do you have to get there? Number 5, how much do you have invested today? Number 6, what is the best rate of return that you know how to get? Now, I'm going to pause for a second because oftentimes when I ask that question, a person or people they symbol stop right there, or they fumble around. Rate of return is the type of thing that you're looking at when you're putting money into a bank. Let's say you may not know how to get any type of rate of return, so you put your money underneath the mattress. Or maybe you're putting it into the bank, and all you know how to do is put it into a savings account. And then if you're on it from there, you may then learn, or you may know how to put it into a CD and expect a little bit more of a return, or into a mutual fund. And then you go on with the market. So then you got the ups and downs. So you don't control that, but put it into a mutual fund, you got it balanced out. Well, then some of you may know how to do stocks, which are a little bit more risky, but you're doing that risk for a greater return. And then someone else may go out into real estate, and you may have an inkling for being a real estate investor. So part of this, all those things are places where people put their money in, their 401k, their IRA, which are market-based securities, where you're going to try to get a rate of return. Well, I also tell you that a great place to get a rate of return is in yourself, and that's where the greatest return has happened for me. And like the last gentleman said, you simply want to show up. Now that you've looked at that absolute best rate of return, number 7, based upon that return, how much do you need to have in cash? That right there is the piece where the bankers and the brokers don't want you to know about. You see, an older man wanted to plant a tree. A young gardener told the man that this particular tree would take 40 years to blossom. And the older man replied, then we better get started this afternoon. See, the intent of this message tonight is not to make you a financial expert. You don't need an MBA, a CFP, or a GED. All I want you to do is review your personal numbers to see whether or not you need to make a decision to climb into the wheelbarrow and allow us to help you to avoid the disastrous scenario that so many people are facing today. I want you to ask yourself 3 important questions. Number 1, what do I want to get out of this program? What do I want to get out of this program? And this program, to me, is life. What do you want to get out of this program called life? Number 2, where do I want to be 1 year from now? I.e. relationships, income, wealth, family, spirituality, etc. And then from 1 year, go 3 years, go 5 years. Look at it in the context of which you put down as the number of years that you need to get to your retirement dream. And number 3, am I willing to make a choice, i.e. a decision? Am I willing to make a choice in my life to change the path I'm on right now so that I can position myself for dramatic wealth? See, we all have that choice. Now, Josh, assuming a 5% rate of return, if you need an extra $500 per month, then that means you'll need an asset of about $120,000. If your number is $1,500 per month, then you'll need an asset of about $360,000. If your number is $3,000 per month, then you'll need an asset of about $720,000. And if your number is $5,000 per month, then you'll need an asset of $1.2 million. And as I said before, those assets are the things, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, real estate, business, And then tonight I want you to understand that investing in yourself, that means you can start right there in your very beginning. And as Benjamin Franklin said, that what you put into your head comes out into your wallet. So, Josh,
yep.
There you go.
Gotcha. So, man, nobody's broken it down on that number basis for me before. So now that we have this information, how do we take it beyond the emotional charge that we're all so used to?
Well, practical application looks like this. Let's say a scenario in which, in fact, I did this last night. I posted a snapshot of my cell phone because I got off the phone with a wonderful young lady that just got started out of Louisiana. I was working in depth with someone on my team, and come to find out, she was already on a program losing weight. But as I delved a little bit deeper, I found out that she actually had a financial need because she had some goals and aspirations. She wanted to actually retire in the next 2 years from the military. And then within the next 7 years, she wanted to be in a position where she could do what she wanted to do, when she wanted to do it, with whom she wanted to do it. And so this scenario I'm going to run you through is basically what I went through with her. So the question that I'll ask him is, now that you know the amount that you need to retire, at what age do you want to retire? And let's say that the person says age 65. I'll follow up and say, well, how old are you now? And they in turn say, let's say 45. So how much do you make a year? Let's say $50,000. And then I'll follow up, well, okay, if my math is correct, you have 240 monthly paychecks, i.e. 20 years times 12 months, 240 monthly paychecks left in your working career. And according to our previous discussion, let's say you needed $500,000 to actually get to a retirement amount. So today you have $140,000 in the bank or in your investments. We're in at $360,000 short right now. And then I'll ask a question, and questions are powerful. Ask the right questions, get the right answer. What is the likelihood that you will have saved $1,500 per month toward retirement out of each of your last 240 checks? And then I shut up, because then I'll let them go through their own thought process to realize what their scenario is. And my guess is not likely. So, Josh, as I promised, it's decision time. See, here's the plan. I recommend you follow to give you a legitimate shot at meeting your cash flow needs versus having no shot at all. And this is critical. When you run your personal numbers, you'll determine whether or not you have a shot or not. And for most people, as you said, 66 out of 100 people age 65 earn less than $30,000 in retirement. For most people, they have no shot at all. And everyone on this call right now has something in their hands that actually can give a person an absolute shot. And so with complete conviction, you should feel great about that. And all you've got to do is just do your homework and get a little bit more skilled. And this is the purpose of this call here. So first step is make the decision to contact the person that shared this information with you. So if you're currently not a challenger, if you're currently not a promoter, then get with the person that actually shared this information with you. Next, make a decision to be open and receptive to reviewing the information that they share with you, and then consider the information in the context of your needs and your desires. And the same thing for someone that's maybe not all in. Look at your personal situation and then re-look at it and really see whether or not this is something that's really a solution for you. See, my vision is wellness in the world, spiritual, mental, emotional, physical, and financial. Why? Because I've never seen a broke person that could recover, and I've never seen a sick person get a bunch of products and services and actually get well. I believe that a person's whole life has to work. It's got to be integrated. Lastly, make a decision to do or not to do. See, we don't care if you do it or not. We just care that you look at the information. So make a decision once you've done that. Make a decision to do or not to do, because there's no try. Now, Josh, before you go, I better warn you. The majority of people who fail to accumulate money sufficient for their needs are generally easily influenced by the opinions of others. Now, they permit the newspapers and the gossiping neighbors do their linking, and then the opinions are created. I mean, that's the cheapest commodities on earth. Everyone has a flock of opinions ready to be wished upon anyone who will accept them, and you got to realize that. If you're influenced by opinions when you reach decisions, then you will not succeed in any undertaking, much less in that of transmuting your own desires into money. Now, if you're influenced by the opinions of others, you have to. You really have to. You will have no desire of your own. You got to realize that. Keep your own counsel when you begin to put into practice the principles. Reaching for your own decisions and then following them. You have a brain and mind of your own. Use it and reach your own decisions. If you need facts or information from other people to enable you to reach that decision, then you probably need to go ahead and get that. Acquire those facts. Secure the information you need quietly without disclosing your purpose to everyone. You want to protect your thoughts. And that means from close friends and relatives also, because they may mean well, but oftentimes through their opinions and some ridicule, they might think it's funny, but through that ridicule, thousands of men and women have an inferiority complex. So, Josh, that in a nutshell is really those things where if you put it into play and you realize what you're working against, that you can actually go out there and fight against these unknowns.
Powerful, powerful, powerful. Man, do they make an Ask Nate Scott app?
Yeah, my cell phone.
There you go. Excellent. Okay. Well, this is what we have to do. Tribe, we've recorded this call. It's going to be posted. I need to listen to this about 3 times at least. Go to Nate Scott's wall again. Ask Nate Scott's wall. And Nate, what would you like them to post on the wall? Because I know you're always learning.
Yeah, the biggest thing is just the value that you received from this call or the last call, and actually give substance to it. Give substance to it, because through that, it's not about a rah-rah session. In fact, I hate for the rah-rah. What I want is you to be able to take information that you've invested your time in, because this is a resource. Your time is your resource, so that you can get an actual rate of return. And Josh, and that would be perfect. And then also, if they go to financialredalert.com, I've got a video there. And if they leave their information, I will probably put together this transcript and the last one and actually make it available to everyone that's within your group.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Nate, did you have any other closing thoughts?
Yeah, I want to end it with an amazing story about a man named Michael Downing. Michael Downing was asked to go at the end of the World War II to Germany and to speak to a group of wounded soldiers. And guys, I'm a former enlisted soldier, West Point graduate, former Army Ranger, served in Arlington National Cemetery at the Old Guard, and that's where I finished up. So this is near and dear to me. Michael made the trip over to Germany, and as he walked in the room, he saw these soldiers who had been shot, who were amputees, who had lost all their hope in their eyes, and he actually empathized with them. Michael was a successful businessman. In fact, he was the president of a very successful bank. And as he looked at these soldiers, he started his speech by saying this. He said, "I want you to know that anything is possible. I hope that you dream big dreams because you have a bright future ahead of you and the potential to achieve anything that you desire." The soldiers were not in good spirits. See, they began to boo him. And the booing got so severe that Michael sat down and he stopped. I want you to just think about that. Now, unexpectedly, he reached down and he removed his prosthetic right leg. And then he removed his prosthetic left leg. And then he removed his right arm and took off his left hand. You see, what the soldiers didn't know was that when Michael's 14-year-old, he fell off the back of a wagon in the snowstorm, and by the time his parents realized he was missing and came back to get him, he had severe frostbite that caused him to amputate both of his legs, his right arm at the shoulder, and his left hand at the wrist. He empathized with the soldiers because he knew what they were going through. He had lost all hope in his life before. And sitting there, a stump of a man, he started his speech over again by saying, "I want you to know that anything is possible. I hope that you dream big dreams because you have a bright future ahead of you and the potential to achieve anything you desire." Now, I have to imagine that was the greatest speech ever given, and his message is that the same message that I want to leave with each of you tonight. Anything is possible. I hope that you dream big dreams because you have a bright future ahead of you and the potential to achieve anything that you desire. My name is Nate Scott. For more information, visit www.asknatescott.com. Take care and be blessed.